All right. Welcome, you guys. We're super glad that you're here. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on learning some natural solutions for yours and your family's health. The presentation should be about 40 minutes long, and be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to be giving away a free miracle salve, which I don't have here to show you, but it's great for all things skin. I just made a fresh batch of it the other day. Um, if you are watching from your phone, you can turn your phone sideways and you'll be able to see it a little bit better, a little bit bigger. Okay. Feel free to screenshot anything that we talk about tonight. If there's something that you're like, I want to make sure that I remember to talk to my advocate about this, then screenshot that and save it for later. Okay. We will be using the chat feature tonight, which I know you guys already did a little bit. And I'm going to call on the advocates right now as I get into this next part here. And if you are an advocate that's on tonight, I want you to drop in the chat, how long have you been an advocate for? Okay. And if you're not an advocate, I want you to just watch those answers roll in. Excuse me. Because throughout this workshop tonight, you will notice some different wellness advocates sharing, and that is just a glimpse into how our team operates. We fully embrace teammates as they're launching their business and beyond. So we do a lot of this together, and you'll see different people kind of taking roles tonight. So I don't have my chat open, but let's see. I see 2 years, 2 months, 4 months, 7 months. Um, what, buddy? Okay. Tell him to put it back on. Okay. Dad can take care of it. Sorry, just lost my complete chain of thought. Buddy, go. Thank you. Okay, so you're going to see us all sharing tonight, and I'm going to move on to the next slide because now I'm super distracted. I was just talking about, I'm like, how am I going to pull this off with summer because it's not even dark out a lot of times at this time. Okay. Anyway, we're going to move on here. So imagine this. All right. You get to choose one car, any car you want, brand new, top of the line. But the catch is, it is the only car that you are going to have for the rest of your life. Okay. So be thinking about that. Take a second. If you can, drop it in the chat. What car are you choosing? I struggle to not still think of minivan life because that's the stage that I'm at right now with 3 little ones. I'm like, maybe a Suburban. So drop it in the chat. What car are you choosing for the rest of your life? And I want you to then keep your chat open because as I read through the next few questions, I want you to put a 1 in the chat every time you hear something that you would do to take care of that one and only car that you have. Okay. So if you would change the oil regularly, drop a 1 in the chat. Would you keep the tires in check? Would you wash it regularly? Would you make sure that the brakes are in good shape? Okay. Lots of 1s coming through. Of course you would. You would do whatever it takes to keep that car running smoothly for as long as possible, right? Here's the thing. You do actually have one vehicle for the rest of your life, and that's your body. But yet, do we treat that with the same level of care that we would that car? There's no second chances. There's no trade-ins. You have one body to carry you through the rest of your life. So how are we choosing to care for it? And here's where it gets even more real, because when you look at the state of the health in America right now, it is clear that most people are not treating their bodies like something that's meant to last a lifetime. Okay, so this paints the picture really well of just how much people are struggling with their health today. 74% of adults are overweight or obese. Half of America will develop type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. Half will face cancer in their lifetime. I was actually sitting next to Anne at a recent thing that we had in Utah, and she looked at me when they said that stat, and she said, so that means either you or I are going to have cancer. And it's like, whoa, it really puts you into perspective. Autoimmune diseases, they're increasing by 13% every year. Infertility is on the rise. Heart disease, something that's almost entirely preventable, is still the leading cause of death, and it takes over 800,000 lives a year in the US alone. But it's not just adults. Cancers in young adults have also increased by 79% in just the last 10 years. And 77% of young Americans can't qualify for the military service due to obesity or drug abuse. But it starts even younger than that. 30% of teens are already pre-diabetic. 18% have fatty liver disease. And this used to be something that we only saw in alcoholics, but now it's showing up in our kids. And perhaps one of the most heartbreaking is that 1 in 36 children are now diagnosed with autism. Okay, and these numbers are more than just statistics. They represent real people, our friends, our families, our children. But the question is, what are we going to do about it? And you guys, I have to share this quick story with you. Kind of humorous, but also a little bit like, I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but I was at the park the other day with my kids and we walked by this group of teens, like probably middle school age, right? And I overheard one of them say, I don't even know what we're going to eat in America anymore because they're like taking away all our food. And then this other kid goes, yeah, our Cheetos are going to be like gray. And I'm like, it's it's so comical to an extent, right? That that's the mindset that kids have, but also kind of sad that that's the mindset that kids have because they've become so used to the brightly colored foods that are poisoned with dyes and everything else. So it just, difference in perspective, right? Okay. So my husband and I were stuck in that same cycle, running on fumes, normalizing pain, and masking symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. For me, coffee was survival, a full pot a day just to function, but the crashes and fatigue never stopped. My hip pain was terrible. I remember literally physically having to lift my leg to get into my car. And I'm 42 years old. Okay. It happened while I was pregnant with my daughter, and it really didn't go away after that. I would hold my kids. I would be afraid that I was going to drop them because I would have to grab onto something, afraid my hip was going to give out. Um, but what did I do? I took the bottle of ibuprofen and I took what I needed and I pushed through. I thought that was normal. I really didn't know that there was anything different. My husband wasn't any better. I'm going to play this video here so you can just kind of see. There's no sound, but you can just kind of see what his job is. It's very physical. He trims cows' feet. So there's the knifing, the grinding, the machines, the levers, the grinder all day long. It's a very physical job, and his body ached constantly. But instead of finding relief, he also used ibuprofen. He would take the bottle and literally pour it into his mouth because he was in that much pain all the time. His energy was, whoa, what did I do? Okay, sorry. His energy was gone, and pain was just a part of his life. Then we made some changes. And now for me, coffee is a treat, and I'm usually putting protein in it. My hip pain is gone. My headaches are gone. I've lost inches. I've lost some pounds. I almost never need pain relievers anymore. And it's because I fueled my body with what it actually needed: more water, whole foods, inflammation. And it has changed everything for me. Eddie rarely touches ibuprofen now. So from pouring it into his mouth to barely needing it, it's insane. I never would have thought that would have happened. And his energy is better than it's been in years. But the thing is, our stories are not unique. So many people are exhausted, inflamed, stuck without realizing that there's another way. They're just accepting that as normal, right? But when they start fueling instead of just surviving, everything starts to change. And the more we learned, the more we couldn't ignore what's actually happening with our health today. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Anne.
Okay. On this here, you'll see the foundational wellness pyramid with dōTERRA. When you look at the state of health in America, it's clear we're struggling. Chronic diseases is on the rise. Energy levels are at an all-time low. And most people feel like they're just getting by. But the good news is it doesn't have to be that way. That's why dōTERRA created the wellness pyramid. To help us take control of our health in a way that actually works. We start at a foundation, and you can see at the bottom, the nutrition and digestion. Most people are undernourished, even if they're eating plenty. Our food does lack nutrients, and poor digestion means we're not absorbing what we need. Without this foundation, nothing else functions the way it should. Then we move up to the movement and metabolism. Our bodies are designed to move, but today's lifestyles has made us more inactive than ever. A sluggish metabolism leads to low energy, stubborn weight, and bigger health issues down the road. When we focus on these foundational habits, we've seen things like inflammation, low energy, and digestive issues naturally getting better, often without relying on medications. Our bodies were designed perfectly, and they know how to heal when we give them those key foundational pieces. Jace, can you turn that off, please? Or turn it down? Okay, so how nutrient deficient are we? It is important that we understand just how nutrient deficient we are as Americans. Up to 90% of us are missing key nutrients our bodies need to thrive. It's not just because of fast foods or unhealthy eating habits, it's deeper than that. Our soil is depleted. Processed foods dominate our diets, and our busy lives often push healthy eating to the back burner. In addition to that, we are under constant exposure to chemicals in our everyday lives. Can you play the video for me, Carrie?
Is a tomato in the grocery store in 2024 the same as a tomato in 1977?
No, just alone by vitamin and mineral content, absolutely not. We spray 280 billion pounds of glyphosate a year on American crops. If we continue down this path of spraying all these chemicals on our food, we will only have 55 years left before we have no more plantable soil, period, end of story.
Okay, now we're going to do a little quiz here for you. And you can answer in the chat. Take a guess at this question and drop it in the chat. How many oranges do you need today to match just one from the time of your grandparents? Take a wild guess. Go ahead, put it in the chat or unmute and shout it out. I see 50, 30, 25, 25, 100. Woo! 10. That's really close. Let's see. The answer is actually 8. When we don't get the nutrients we need, it shows up in ways we often overlook, like the things you see on the screen here, which is constant fatigue, trouble focusing, poor sleep quality, mood swings, weak immunity, and digestive struggles. I've been there and done that. So many of us have just accepted these things as normal, but they don't have to be. The truth is, when you give your body what it needs, you feel the difference. Better energy, clearer thinking, and overall resilience. But here's the thing, not all supplements are created equal. Many are loaded with fillers or use forms of nutrients our bodies can't properly absorb. That's why quality matters so much when it comes to filling these gaps. As you'll see on the next few slides, dōTERRA provides options to make sure your nutritional needs are covered in whatever way suits your lifestyle the best.
All right, I think Christina is up.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Carrie. So I'm just going to tackle a couple of solutions here. The first being VMGs. So we're living in a world where nutrient deficiencies is the norm, and we feel it. Low energy, brain fog, bloating, inflammation. These are just random. They aren't just random, sorry. They're signs your body is running on empty. So that's where VMG comes in. It's not just another vitamin. It's a highly absorbable whole food-based solution designed to fill the gaps and fuel your body the right way. Sustained energy without the crashes. Imagine ditching coffee and energy drinks while still feeling steady all day energy. With 5 times better absorption than regular supplements, VMG fuels your body with nutrients it can actually use. So better digestion, less bloating. Who doesn't want to be less bloated? Probiotics and digestive enzymes work together to break down food, ease bloating, and support gut health so you feel lighter and more comfortable. So relief from pain and inflammation shown to reduce CRP, so that's a key inflammation marker, by 43.5%, helping to ease discomfort and improve recovery. It also supports, it's a great support for healthy aging. So in just 6 weeks, it helps to reduce biological age by 2 years, keeping you feel vibrant and strong. So more greens made simple. Each sachet delivers 3 to 4 servings of nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables. Sorry, my phone is ringing. So each sachet delivers 3 to 4 servings of nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables in one easy daily drink. And the best part is it tastes amazing. Pineapple mango deliciousness instead of that chalky, hard to swallow vitamins we've all tried. So if my kids will drink this, I guarantee you, you will love it. When your body gets the right nutrients, everything shifts. More energy, less pain, better focus, deeper sleep, and a body that works with you instead of against you. This is foundational wellness made effortless. Now let's see what people are saying about it. So with VMG, you can click to that. Oh yeah, you've got the slide there. Nope, never mind. Next slide. VMG has been a game changer for so many, offering real noticeable improvements in energy, digestion, and overall wellness. So Ashley shared how she absolutely loves it because it's not only delicious, but has significantly reduced inflammation in her body. She also noticed a consistent boost in energy throughout the day and a much stronger immune system, helping her feel healthier and more resilient. Rachel highlighted how VMG helped her during times of high stress. She shared that she used to depend heavily on coffee and diet soda to stay energized, but has since eliminated both, thanks to VMG's ability to provide all the energy she needs naturally. The transformations don't stop there. Tracy reported dramatic improvements, including sustained energy throughout the day, healthy skin, and better digestion without relying on coffee. Hear a theme here? Coffee. Even after going off thyroid medication, she maintained stable energy levels, something she'd struggled with before, experiencing brain fog, extreme fatigue, and dry skin. And finally, the impact of VMG becomes even more apparent when it's unavailable. Amy ran out of VMG for 2 weeks and described the difference as dramatic: lower energy, poor digestion, disrupted her sleep, and unexpected emotional swings. She expressed how essential VMG had become in maintaining her daily health and well-being. And these stories showcase how VMG isn't just another supplement. It's a vital part of a lifestyle that supports energy, balance, and overall wellness. And on that note, I think Michelle is going to take over.
Yes, and we had one question. Carolyn was wondering, what does VMG stand for? Oh, Heather answered it. Vegetables, minerals, greens, and then the plus is plus doTERRA's essential oils. All right, next we have Michelle.
Let's say this.
Thank you, Christina.
Okay, sorry, I studied the wrong slides, so I'll do my best. Okay, so before we jump to the next product, let's talk about omegas and why they matter. We have got two key players, omega-3s and omega-6s. Omega-6s are the body's way of handling inflammation. Picture this: you roll your ankle and instantly become inflamed. That's because the pro-inflammatory response of the omega-6s come in to isolate injury to allow healing. But the problem is we need omega-3s to come in to do that, and that's where we're very deficient. We should aim for a 1-to-1 balance between these two, but most of us are more like a 16-to-1. This keeps our bodies in a constant state of swelling, leading to chronic inflammation, joint pain, and fatigue. It's like being stuck in recovery mode and never fully bouncing back. And unless you're eating a lot of fatty fish and flax seeds daily, you're probably missing out on those omega-3s, the good guys that help cool things down. Let's look at a few other things omega-3s help with. A key thing to remember is that our bodies can't produce omega-3s, so this is where we get them from food and supplements. Experts recommend 500 mg daily, but most of us only get around 90 mg. Nowhere near enough support heart health, brain function, and overall well-being. To put that in perspective, it's like eating 2 full cans of tuna every single day, which we know we definitely cannot do that. That's where doTERRA's EG Omega comes in. With 900 mg of omega-3s per serving, it fills the gap and fuels your body with exactly what it needs. Plus, it is infused with wild orange essential oil, which helps manage cholesterol, boosts energy, support healthy inflammation, and keeps that fish oil fresh. So no fishy burps. I don't know. I've tried other pearl oil, fish oil, things like that before, and they always smell terrible. These do not at all. The benefit of omega-3s are undeniable. Heart health, it lowers blood pressure, reduces triglycerides, and keeps arteries flexible. brain function, enhances focus, sharpens memory, and reduces Alzheimer's risks. Metabolism support, improves insulin sensitivity, balances blood sugar, and supports a healthy weight. Longevity, higher omega-3s are linked to longer, healthier life. Studies suggest up to 5 years. Clinical studies prove the impact. 16% drop in resting heart rate, 42% lower blood pressure, nearly unheard of, and 30% reduced risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. EG Omega Plus makes it easy to get the omega-3s your body needs, and you can feel your best today for years to come. Do I keep going? Okay.
I'm good. I will go ahead and give my testimony. So Carrie has my picture up here because I was a chronic migraine sufferer. I am a mom of 8 kids and I homeschooled my kids as well. And most of my life, I was either pregnant or nursing. Migraines, having 20 migraines a month meant pretty much every day was a struggle bus. After I got done with having children, I started taking prescription medications and I still was having massive migraines. I could only treat them after they came. I started taking a preventive medication about 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, I was down to 5 migraines a month on a preventive medication. You guys, I wanted to go natural. I didn't know where to start, who to trust, and what would work because I didn't want to, as my husband would say, I didn't want to dink around and just be battling with headaches while I tried to figure it out. 4 months after I started doTERRA's foundational wellness, I was feeling so clear-minded. My joints no longer hurt. I had sustained energy. I wasn't going up to my room at 8 o'clock at night just because I was done for the day. My health had made such a drastic change and improvement that after 4 months, I decided to not do that injection to prevent migraines anymore. When I told my husband, he's like, "Well, what do you have to lose?" I'm like, I could have 20 migraines next month. Like, it's a real fear. Well, that was July of 2023. Here we are at April of 2025. And in that time, almost 2 years, I have only had 7 migraines. We got to the root cause. My nutrient deficiency was screaming. My inflammation was out of control, and I did not know it. And even though I had made some changes in my home to remove toxins, I still had toxins trapped in my gut. doTERRA's foundational wellness has made it's given me my life back. I never want to be without these products.
Thank you, Sherry. I figured we have the lady here. We might as well have her do her own slide, right? All right, we're back to Anne.
Okay, so now that we've talked about fueling our bodies, we have to address digestion. If your digestion isn't working properly, your body can't absorb all the nutrients you're trying to give it, no matter how good your diet is. The gut is often referred to as your second brain, and that is so true. It impacts everything from your immune system to your mental health. If your gut is out of whack, you might struggle with bloating, brain fog, fatigue, skin issues, and even depression and anxiety. PB Restore is a must-have. It contains pre, pro, and postbiotics designed to support your gut's microbiome at every level. I'm sure you've heard of the importance of probiotics, but what you might not know is that most just dissolve in the harsh stomach acids before they even have a chance to reach your intestines. But PB Restore is awesome. It's a time release capsule that is different. They dissolve partly in the stomach and partly in intestines, which means the good bacteria reach where they need to be. Plus, it also includes bacteriophages, which target harmful bacteria and support the healthy flora, giving your gut the help it truly needs. With nutrient deficiencies, excuse me, Jace, get that away from her, please. That is driving me nuts. I'm sorry. With nutrient deficiencies, toxins, and additives in food, putting our gut under constant stress, PB Restore is a no-brainer. Okay, let's see. Now we go to the next slide. Right? Okay, this is an awesome lady. Um, this is Jean. We're going to share her incredible information or transformation with you. When she started, she was dealing with migraines twice a week, and her stomach was such a mess that her doctor told her she needed medications for the rest of her life. But Jean wasn't ready to accept that. On June 24th, she decided to focus on foundational health and PB Restore, PB Assist, and Terrazyme. Here's what happened. After just a month and a half, she was able to stop taking her stomach medications. At 4 months, she had lost 8 pounds, and by 5 months, she realized she hadn't had a migraine in a full month and a half. Can you imagine the freedom she feels now? No constant migraines, no lifelong meds, just feeling better every day. So much so that she already helped her daughter and her mom get going also.
Awesome. So dōTERRA has a revolutionary MetaPower system that is designed to tackle poor cardiometabolic health, another one of our amazing solutions. So we're going to highlight our collagen in this line specifically, but the entire system is pretty incredible and they all focus on different aspects. So we've found out through research that only 6.8% of the population have optimal cardiometabolic health. That's a mouthful. I'll save you the math. This means about 93% of North Americans do not have optimal cardiometabolic health. Our metabolisms are simply not working well for us, which is shortening our lifespan and our health span. So would you believe that the average person spends their last 14 years in a state of declining health and has difficulty completing everyday tasks? That's pretty alarming. Next slide, Carrie. All right, so we've talked about nutrition and digestion, but let's be real. You just don't want to feel okay, right? You want energy, you want vitality, and confidence in your body. That's where dōTERRA's MetaPower Advantage comes in. Most collagens on the market today only support hair, skin, and nails, but this one does so much more. It has 9 types of collagen, and it fills in the gaps between your bones and connective tissue, easing joint pain and improving mobility. Plus, it supports our brain health, gut health, and even metabolism. Amazing. So here's the kicker. It's also 12 times more absorbable than any standard collagen because it comes in a freeze-dried powder that you activate with water. Your body actually gets to use it instead of flushing it out. But the real magic, it helps reverse the signs of aging at the cellular level, which also is supporting key metabolic markers like A1C, blood sugar, blood pressure, and even cholesterol. It doesn't just shrink wrinkles, it helps shrink fat cells too. Amazing. It strengthens joints, it improves our recovery, and it supports long-term mobility. I love it. I absolutely love it. It also includes NMN, and I won't pronounce that word tonight because I never get it right, which helps restore our NAD+, your body's repair fuel, so your cells can regenerate and function like they did when they were younger. Think of it like buffing out the scratches on an old CD. Suddenly everything runs smoother. The result? Fewer wrinkles, stronger joints, better metabolism, and all-day energy. That is why people are seeing dramatic transformations with MetaPower. Let's check out a few of those life-changing results. Okay, right off the bat, you can see Sarah at the top left. She's a shining example that consistency really is the key when it comes to taking supplements. She noticed gradual improvements along the way, but about a year down the road, she was shocked to see the comparison. I'm amazed she took pictures. I always forget to do that. She experienced dramatically tighter skin and a huge weight loss. To the right, you'll see Don, who very quickly experienced a drastic increase in his energy, less joint pain, weight loss, and he said his knee had never felt so good post-surgery. He's been able to keep up with his grandkids and no longer grunts getting up and down from the floor. We've all been there. In his words, he feels rejuvenated. Below him, you'll see a lady who's had some red spots on her arm. Anytime she bumped herself, they would appear. Doctors did some biopsies and said, yeah, just happens when you get older. So after using the MetaPower, I think for about 3 months, the spots are totally gone. She has seen other changes too, like a 60-pound weight loss, thicker hair, nails growing fanatically, and lower A1C levels. So as you can see, when you give your body the right support, it can do incredible things, whether it's restoring energy, easing discomfort, or achieving results you never thought possible.
Mom, stop. Okay, so we have covered foundational wellness, which is the key to overall health. But the reality is everybody's journey is different. And this is why we also offer targeted solutions to meet specific needs, things like weight support, pain relief, digestive support. And anybody that's on here that takes this digestive support was pretty happy yesterday when it came back in stock, right? So weight support is something that many people come to us for. It's a challenge that only seems to get harder as we age. But the key to weight loss is not a quick fix. It's lifestyle changes and blood sugar regulation. So when your blood sugar spikes from processed carbs and sugary meals, you're going to feel those energy crashes, cravings, and you're going to end up with increased fat storage. Starting with foundational wellness can make a huge difference, but for extra support, MetaPower Assist helps your body process carbs more efficiently, releasing glucose steadily and preventing those spikes. Sarah, that you just saw on the previous screen, she shared that MetaPower Assist gave her more flexibility to enjoy carbs while still making smart choices. She also mentioned that she ate a lot in Mexico when we went on our incentive trip, which was all inclusive. So you guys know how that is. Like you're eating, right? Because you're not paying for it. And she took a MetaPower Assist before every meal and she only gained a half a pound. So her story shows how small changes can make a big impact. Okay, in the middle, pain relief. That's another area many people struggle with. And the Deep Blue Stick has been a go-to for on-the-go relief for joint pain and muscle tension. I actually have an 85-year-old customer who said there is no amount of money that anybody could give her to give up those Deep Blue Sticks. My customer, Janice, she had debilitating sciatica pain. It affected her daily life, walking, stairs, even sleeping. But after using the Deep Blue Stick, which she combined with our birch essential oil, she said her pain became so much more manageable. She was able to walk with less pain and sleep more comfortably. And then digestive support is something that most of us need. So whether it's bloating, acid reflux, digestive discomfort, Terrazyme can help. It contains whole food enzymes that break down hard to digest foods like lactose, soy, gluten. Rhonda had acid reflux for 10 years and she had tried everything, specialist medication, GI doctors. She tried acupuncture, right? With no relief. But after just a week of foundational wellness and Terrazyme, her reflux was completely gone. So once we're done here, the next step is a one-on-one wellness consult where we will help to create the best plan for you. So you will meet with your advocate for that piece. Okay, so as you can see, the choices that we make today can have a profound impact on our future. It's easy to believe that we have time, but the truth is many of the health challenges we face later in life, heart disease, Alzheimer's, the loss of independence, often begin long before we see the signs. In America, our approach to health has been largely reactive, right? We rely on medication to treat symptoms rather than ever getting to the root cause. And this is where that disconnect happens. We wait until the crisis hits, and then we turn to pills and procedures to manage what could have been prevented. So maybe you've already reached the point of needing medication, and maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you're looking for another way. You're not alone in this. Unfortunately, that's largely how our current medical system operates. It's about treating symptoms, not the cause. You might be hoping to lessen the side effects that you've been feeling, reduce the need for putting toxins into your body just to get through the day. I totally get it. But what if we shifted the focus? What if we started prioritizing well care over health care, treating our health proactively with proper nutrition, movement, and self-care before the health crisis begins? It's about laying the groundwork for a healthier future, which is what we're all passionate about here. It's not about waiting for the diagnosis. It's about making the choices today that will shape a better tomorrow. All right, Christina, I think you're on this one, right? And I'm going to grab that survey link while you talk.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, here's what's next for you. Step 1, we want you to fill out a quick survey. Take just a minute to fill out this short form. It helps us support you better. Inside, you'll also find the link to our customer Facebook group where you can get personalized guidance, see real testimonies and results, and stay in the loop on all things wellness. So click on the link in the chat now and take just a minute here to fill that out. And then while you guys are doing that, just keep an eye out for a message from your advocate. Now that you've learned the foundation of health, your advocate will be reaching out after this class to schedule a one-on-one wellness consult with you. This is where you'll get personalized recommendations based on your healthy goals, support in using your products the right way, and a plan that fits your lifestyle. So it's just 30 minutes. And it makes all the difference when you start feeling better and showing up stronger every day. So I think we'll just wait a minute here, right, Carrie? And then
we'll give it a couple minutes for you guys to fill it out. If you want to throw the word done in the chat here when you finish, that way we'll kind of have an idea of when to wrap up.